As the Emperor's spies told him, Ciri had reached Novigrad. A lone attempt to find her in the North's largest city would certainly fail. But Geralt had friends he could count on. The Witcher decided to contact Triss Merigold.
So it's sort of like a variation on this one that we've seen before, I think. Unless I'm completely wrong and it's exactly the same. Whoa! What? Wow, interesting. We were just standing, we finished the last game on the bridge, but the game decided that we were not allowed to be on the bridge, or maybe more accurately, Geralt decided that it was time for a swim. It was time for a midnight swim. Anyway, hello everybody, my name is Rebecca, and welcome back to my Pixel Quest. You feeling refreshed, Geralt? Geralt is feeling refreshed and ready to continue our journey, our blind playthrough journey into The Witcher 3. Alright, so interesting. So now I'm down here, which is not where I intended to start. Whoops, let's not punch the ladder, let's climb up the ladder, there we go. So in the last episode, we had some adventures with Triss, who is, I think a pretty solid ally right now. Someone that we also have some degree of, we have a complex, but perhaps overall largely friendly and positive relationship with, mutually positive but complex relationship, and we can go and visit her, so we're definitely going to do that at some point. But we've also got now this new Novigrad Dreaming quest. Suggested level 7. Well, I can blow this one out of the water. Oniro, or Oni romance. It could be Oniromances or Oni romances. Onero. How many times am I going to say this? Oniromances, or dreamers as they are more commonly called, possess the ability their name implies to divine the future or relive the past through dreams. Corinne was one of the best of her kind and had no trouble finding clients, even with the hostility to the occult that reigned in Novigrad at the time. Geralt hoped she would spare him a few moments and set off to find her in a house where she had gone to ply her trade. So I think that's what I'm really, really keen to do this episode. But I did also want to start today just having a look at some of the new character profiles we have. So this guy, who is my instant enemy forever, Caleb Mangay, I think it was, right? In those days, rampant persecution and the smoke of 100 pyres choked Novigrad's air. This grim climate provided cover in which a great many bloody butchers built comfortable nests for themselves. Drummed up conspiracies, mass arrests, and show trials resulting in group executions were the favourite building blocks. Caleb Mangay, the fanatically ambitious commander of the Church of the Eternal Fire's Temple Guard, was one such opportunist. His moment of triumph coming when he unmasked his superior, the former Temple Guard commander Chappelle, as a Doppler in disguise. So that's who was burning there. Yeah, because that's who we're going to read about next. Okay, but that was his former commander. Wow. God, such a bad guy. Such a bad guy. Geralt first saw Mangay lighting Chappelle's pyre in Novigrad's main square and had no doubt for this man, the appellation fanatical horse-on was too mild by far. Yes, me too, Geralt, me too. Chappelle, I'm sorry, Chappelle, I felt like we should have saved you. I feel like that's what we should have done as heroes. Geralt and I had long known that Chappelle, the Chancellor of Security for the Church of the Eternal Fire in Novigrad, had died years ago. Oh. Interesting. Okay. So... And been replaced by a Doppler masquerading under his name. We didn't breathe a word of this to anyone, of course, for the change was decidedly in everyone's best interest. The Doppler had proved a reasonable creature, deprived of the true Chappelle's cruelty. And under his watch, life in the city had much improved. Very interesting. So obviously this is someone from one of the past games then. I mean, it could be from the books as well, but probably from one of the past games. And a bad dude was replaced with a good/less bad Doppler. But well, that makes me sort of extra sad that we didn't save them then, because they were probably a decent person, right? Sadly, the Chancellor's conciliatory style must have raised suspicions as a wave of terror and persecution began to swell over Novigrad. The Doppler was found out, arrested, and burned at the stake for the greater glory of the eternal fire. Oh, I'm sorry, fake Chappelle. Corinne Tilly, who I haven't even met yet. Maybe people in playing previous games have. Oneiromancy, I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, but I suppose that's what I'm going with for the time being. The magic art of deciphering the past and the future as they appear in dreams is difficult for even a highly trained sorceress to master. Those born with the talent, however, excel at it without any formal education. Such was the case of Corinne Tilly, whose fame as a dreamer, as such diviners are known, had spread far and wide. Nice. I like her kind of slightly, she's got kind of like slightly purple hair, slightly mauve, a grey mauve. Felicia Corrie. Geralt had been in situations where he could not prevent someone's death on more than one occasion. In fact, you might say he had grown accustomed to that particular form of agony. Even in this game, man, I've felt this kind of agony. Not just with these people burned at the stake, but other people that I think I've let down, like all those children, like that group of children who've probably been eaten by the crones. Oh, I'm so sorry, kids. I'm so sorry. It is another thing altogether, however, to stand powerless and watch the unjust, cruel execution of an acquaintance for whom one has developed a fondness. Oh my God, so this is also even more sad than I thought. Such was his lot as regards Felicia Corrie, a young sorceress whom Geralt had met while chasing the Kingslayer Letho. Oh, it's connected with the Letho story. Though Geralt had not gotten to know her deeply, he had nonetheless taken a liking to this former pupil of Philippa Eilhart, who had seemed to him a pleasant and enterprising young woman. Yet she was a wielder of magic, and as such met her end on a pyre. I'm sorry, Felicia. Francis Bedlam, King of Beggars. For the time being, I'm going to say this guy is likable, clearly complex. Possibly, I could even imagine towards the end of the game, I feel differently about him as he actually acquires power and starts to wield it, potentially in his own, favor. He might not be such a, his ambitions might not seem quite so, I don't know, so neutral, you know what I mean? I could even imagine it in a later game. I don't even know if there's a game after The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is just the one that I heard everyone talking about, so. The free city of Novigrad had known no king's rule for nearly 200 years. Francis Bedlam surely had this fact in mind when he anointed himself the King of Beggars, a title that mocked the pomposity of crowned heads while simultaneously stealing a bit of said pomp for itself. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Bedlam was a pragmatic man, a trait of great use in his profession, which involved managing a network of thieves, beggars, tramps, and street urchins that trickled through every part of the city. His contacts provided him with the freshest gossip and tastiest morsels of information, and the cut he took of his subjects' earnings guaranteed a sizable income for the maintenance of his court in the Putrid Grove. Francis despised fanaticism and prejudice in equal measure, good, which meant that mages fleeing the witch hunter's pincers often turned to him for protection. I mean, for the time being, this guy's on my good side. I'm happy to call you an ally for the time being, Francis. Let's hope it stays that way. Vim Vivaldi. The dwarves have been in the banking business since the legendary King Desmond of Temeria was just a snot-nosed brat in the short trousers asking for more yam with his... Wed? Oh, wed, okay. Got it. I was like, is this some sort of some sort of, fantastical food. No, it's just bread said with a lisp. Since then, the prominent dwarven banking families, the Giancardis, the Vivaldis, and the Cianfanellis have only expanded their services, establishing branches in all the larger cities of the north. Wim Vivaldi carried the torch of this venerable tradition into modern times, growing the Novigrad branch of his family's bank until it was the largest in the city. Geralt and I had met him over a dozen years before our story begins and had always appreciated his honesty and financial acumen. Okay, so I think we can trust the banker. The latter he gave further proof of during the time in which our story takes place, for his bank remained profitable even in the face of growing non-human oppression. And that's probably it, right? Because I think they tend to put all of the new ones, at the top. Wonderful. Okay, so first off, map. How far are we going? Oh, there is a notice board over here. I might actually slip around to that first, and then we're just going down the street. So easy. That's the other notice board. Yeah, okay. There's another one up there. They might all have totally different things on them. And there's another one down here. And there's another one over here. And there's so much to discover still. So much. But we are right around the corner. So can we go? We can't go this way. Alright, I'm going to have to find my way in the dark a bit. Can we go through here?
La, 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 la.
Is that you? Nice. I thought that guy was like sitting on his shoulders. He's sitting in his shoulders. You both seem pretty comfortable with this situation, so I'm not going to judge. I'm guessing that this is just your thing. You're both into this? Eating tomato soup while somebody stands inside of your torso. Oh, coughing into the tomato soup. That I cannot abide.
What's he doing here?
Who are you asking? Me? Over here. There we go. What have you got for me, notice board? To the clever fuck who's taken to relieving himself on my doorframe every night, if you're reading these words, pay attention. I've purchased a top-notch dwarven crossbow at the market, and I'm going to sit by my window day in and day out till the end of the world if I have to, waiting for you to show again. So unless you want a bolt between your eyes or up your hiney, go empty your water somewhere else, you dirty hooligan. Olbracht Vigerman, 1C Foreman's Alley. Stay out of the sewers. We would like to inform all venerable residents of Novigrad that last week the temple guard fished 3 bodies of the following description out of the city sewers. Male of moderate age, clad in rich apparel with a birthmark on his upper shoulder. Female, elderly, dressed in a blue nightshirt, numerous blunt trauma wounds all over her body. Oh, awful. Male, young, naked, indecent tattoo on his groinal area. These bodies will be examined and identified by the end of the month, then cremated. We would like to take this opportunity to warn our dear townsmen and women against entering the sewers. Despite continual effort on the part of our brave temple guard, they remain an extraordinarily dangerous place. The City Council. Portrait artist wanted. I am in need of a portrait artist to paint a like. God, I hope this is a quest we can do. Oh, I hope we can do a painting of somebody. I'm in need of a portrait artist to paint a likeness of my beloved daughter. This portrait is needed in order to finalize the betrothal contract in which she is to enter with a young man from Kovir. Note that the canvas should be ornamented without an exaggerated emphasis on realism, concentrating instead on bringing out my darling's character. Martin Erhard. Very nice. Eyewitness testimony has confirmed that Triss Marigold of Maribor, known as the 14th of the Hill, a member of the infamous Lodge of Sorceresses. The lodge I know from the TV show. I've seen the TV show before, and that's the one where all of the sorceresses seem to live, right? is currently in residence in our fair city. Anyone in possession of information about her place of hiding, plans, or accomplices is obligated by law, both divine and human, to report to the nearest outpost of the temple guard at once. And whoever helps the witch by giving her food or shelter shall burn alongside her. Just try it. I'm going to feed her as much as I want. Contract issued by the temple guard of the city of Novigrad, fellow followers of the flame. I don't know how I feel about doing contracts with the temple guard, where I don't kill them at the other end of it at least. In recent days, several officers of the temple guard have been ravaged to death in the most bestial manner. An investigation has been launched to look into the matter, so the perpetrator shall soon feel the iron grip of justice closing around his throat. Anyone able to help the guardsmen track down and punish this murderer or murderers, as the case may be. Is this the one that we've already done? Report to the nearest guard post. A reward is foreseen. It is likewise hereby announced that any man aiding or abetting these bandits or withholding evidence regarding these crimes shall be punished by torture, imprisonment, or even death. This might be the one that we've done, but then again, it doesn't specifically mention like the transport, like the transport carriages being looted or anything. Not sure. Gwent. Vim Vivaldi cheats. To all Gwent players, the dwarven banker Vim Vivaldi, who we just learned about, is a villain and a cheat. Using typical non-human trickery, he conned his way to victory over me, then forthwith demanded I surrender my cards with the without the slightest consolation or giving me the chance for a rematch. Anyone tempted to play with him, resist or regret. Okay, well I won't be doing it anyway.
And you, the bigger drunk. I insist.
Okay. Fellow followers of the flame in recent days is the same. Okay, so that's the same. Have we looked at these before? School of the Wolf, gear in 3 different caves to the area immediately to the south of Kier Morhen. Okay, so we won't be getting those for a bit. Oh, there we go. We got an entry from this one. What is this one though? This is we've read this. I feel like I read this. Okay. They entered the hut and began to search. First they tore through his bed. Dried twigs covered the sheet. That was the first proof for werewolves' return at dawn after a night of hunting. Their bare feet covered in the forest droppings. They found the second proof under his bed, a wolf's hide. The werewolf surely dressed himself in it when transforming with the setting sun, and shed it again when he turned to man the next day. Having found these powerful proofs, they ceased deliberation and began the hunt, vowing to find the lycanthrope and bind him in silver chains. Okay. Aha.
What you truly do me an honour, Buckrock.
Sorry, I'm not sure what honor you're talking about. I have to look at some of these. Alright, so that's our major one. That's okay. I'm a bit curious to look at some of the others I've got available. And I am level 10 now. Ah, damaged shrines, yes. Oh, can't wait to do more of that. But that's really just finding them. I mean, I think I could do it. I've got to go and do Tower Full of Mice. Maybe we should do this next, actually. It's freaking level 6. Yep, Wild at Heart, that's the Werewolf's Lair one. Cool. The Race. The Sooths. It doesn't say. These are not associated with a level. A roadside altar praising the glories of gods. Okay, a fortune. So we can just go there and get a fortune. Maybe that's a cool thing to do. Because maybe it'll just... Maybe it will give us more quests or something like that, you know? Maybe it'll lead to another thing. Return to Crookback Bog, yep. And then contracts, we've got Deadly Delights, which is 15. Oxenford Drunk, Creature from Oxenford Forest, Elusive Thief. Go to the marketplace and talk to Sylvester Amello. That sounds kind of cool. It's a very cool name. I wanted to meet Sylvester. The Merry Widow. Ah, yes. Talk to the gravedigger of Lindenvale. We can definitely do that. We can go back to Jenny of the Woods, I reckon, at this stage. We're leveled up probably enough to give this a good go. Swamp Thing's not too far off. I could try it if I wanted to. We've still got more of this Griffin School gear to get as well. It's level 11, so that's pretty close. Cool. Alright, I'm actually thinking... Actually, the very first thing I wanted to do is go back to see this bestiary entry. I assume it is... It's not werewolves, no, because we already had that one. Did we? Maybe it was... Oh, I've totally missed what was added here. Was it this one? Ulfheden? Ulfheden, what's that? Some kind of fish? Professor Ardibus Jones Rack, geographer, disappeared during a surveying expedition in Skellige. Ulfheden are a breed of werewolf found mainly in Skellige. The harsh and barren conditions of the Isles might explain why they primarily hunt men and are stronger than their continental brethren. Older and particularly dangerous Ulfheden are called Vorufs. Only a few daring warriors in all of Skellige history have managed to defeat an Ulfheden, and each of them is commemorated in ballads as a hero to this day. Like werewolves, Ulfheden and Vorufs are active at night, particularly when the moon is at its fullest. Fast, strong and amazingly resilient, these creatures kill with disturbing ease. Silver blades should be brought against them, as well, I do that for everything, as should Devil's Puffball. Take note that when near death, an Ulfheden becomes particularly dangerous and will attack with doubled fury while calling on wolves to come to its rescue. Ooh, it's kind of got guts. Guts power. Okay. I think I can do more of that. I just wanted to have a look at the werewolf entry. Well, you know, I thought maybe it was a new werewolf entry. Right, what is the... Maybe I go back and... No, you know what? No, I'm not. The very first thing I'm going to do... We're here. I said I was going to do it. We're going to go and talk to this dreamer. Yeah, we're going to go and talk to this dreamer. But then...
No.
Hi there, handsome. It's the
Hey.
material world. I know I'm
No, I thought maybe I could... I don't know why. I thought maybe I could get around there, but I can't. So let's go back this way. Yeah, let's go talk to the dreamer. And... Is it through here, yeah?
What's he doing here?
And then maybe we can go and do a couple of side quests. Some of our earlier things that we can probably be successful in. Possibly, absolutely crush. Possibly crush. I don't want to be too cocky about it. I'm only level 10. I think we definitely need to do that. What is it, like Fire Island? The one that involves a boat. Is it here? No, that's not a door. Here. There we go.
Just passing by, wanderer? Or do you seek something specific?
Oh, nice hat, nice
Who's
hat.
asking?
Rudolf de Jonkier. Of those de Jonkiers, yes. My ancestors laid the foundations of this city. I now own its largest bank.
Didn't need a recommendation. Name would have been enough.
Father always said, all ought to know your merits, son. Don't hide them under a bushel.
Yeah, still, you're proclaiming to own one of the largest banks in the city. It's nighttime. You're by yourself. I don't know. I'd be a little careful.
I'm looking for Corrine Tilly.
Oh, you've come to the right place, then. Corrine is inside. Been there for a few days, dreaming the home's history.
Dreaming the home's history.
Why do you need to know the house's history? You a historian or on a whim?
I bought this property a short while ago. Paid a pretty penny, I might add. Soon after, I witnessed disturbances. Led me to fear the home might be haunted.
What are the symptoms?
Oh, they vary. Giggling in the night, and furniture moving about in
Okay,
the
well,
attic.
this
And
just
lastly,
sounds like people are hiding
well,
in
you
your
shan't believe
attic,
it.
doesn't it?
found human feces in the parlor.
I doubt ghosts are doing that, dude. You just have some people living in your attic.
Not interested in what's going on inside? Seeing it for yourself?
I'm a banker. Cursed homes scare me. Do you know how a haunting can affect property value? Point of fact, Corinne requested she not be disturbed.
She's probably just having a chat with them.
I'd like to go inside, look around.
I don't usually let strangers rummage around my home. Twin swords, though. You're a witcher. You may enter, call that my whim.
I will. That's your whim,
The second
dude.
sword, is it in case the first one breaks? Smart.
Yep, sure is. What is this, like broken... Just some broken things there? Is it down or is it up? No, that's not a door. I thought that was a door. Okay. No, this is the door. Let me just loot this guy's stuff while I'm here. Before the ghosts get to it. Ghosts have probably taken all of the good stuff anyway. Sure. I'm just clicking away, honestly, because I think I can I can take more stuff now and just sell it all. I can hear that giggling. This might be a good time for torch. There we go. Oh, much less scary. Just completely covered in spiders. Just spiders everywhere. But nothing to notice in this room except this loot I missed. I mean, actually, maybe it is ghosts, but it could just be kids. It could just be like 4 orphaned kids. Oh, that's outside. This way.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
It's just kids. That's just kids. There's kids living here.
Stop.
Oh,
Go
come.
away. Don't do that. Leave it.
Poor Corinne. Sorry, Corinne, I'm just looting some stuff first. Be there in a sec. Okay.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
That is slightly creepy, but I'm still pretty sure that that's just kids.
Go away.
Can I,
Leave it.
why am I doing this? Aha! You know what? I should probably go and talk to her before I investigate all of this stuff. It could be something legit scary down here. But let's pick up the dumpling, the wire. Yeah, alright, we'll go back up and talk. Let's do this the way that's expected. Real children or ghost children? Where are we putting our money? Okay, sounds like ghost children. Oh no! Hang on! Is that my buddy? Is that Johnny? It looks like a godling.
Wake up. It's just a dream.
Yeah, it was not.
Wake up.
I mean, it looked like a godling.
The attic.
Hang on, I was going to go deal with the basement, though.
All right. Time to check the attic.
Oh, well,
Stop. Go away. Don't do that. Leave it.
hang on. I need that torch again. Okay. So, I'll help you in a second, Corinne. I've just got to take all of this dried fruit and honeycomb before I lose the opportunity to do it.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
It definitely looked like a godling. Probably not Johnny, because I don't think... Johnny probably wouldn't be here. And also, Johnny is sweet, nice boy.
Go away.
Okay,
Leave it.
so that's up to attic. Before I do that, even more stuff for me. Before I do that, I've got to go and see what's down here, because I don't want to lose the opportunity, just in case. You know, maybe it's part of the quest, but since they're pointing us towards the attic, I don't know. Ah. Well, that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a thing. These are red, but he's not commenting on it. Cavalry gauntlets. How are... Oh. No good, but I'll sell them. Bounty Hunter's Gambison. I can hear something. Interesting. Interesting and terrifying. Some more stuff. Ooh, Florence. More things for me to change at the bank. But nowhere to go. Unless there's an illusion here. I didn't think so. Okay. Well, there's probably... Maybe there's something else I can do here once the story brings us here. Interesting. These are all still glowing, but it's not... Yeah, I'm getting no dialogue. Oh, hang on, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the wall. Alright, up to the attic then. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I tried. It does sound like multiple voices, right? Not just one. They're not back.
Put it down, please. That's blood. Don't spill it. Please.
Maybe this is a good point to save. You know, I don't know. I'm back to my old habits of not being very discriminating. Let's just pick it all up. Aha.
Wait,
What?
the next room's blocked.
It doesn't look very blocked to me, Geralt. Okay, magical... Maybe a magical document on the chair, or a magical chair. I can hear that sort of, I don't know, like a creature noise in the background that we heard in the basement. That is the doll. I'm going to look at the doll after I look at the paper. After I loot this stuff. Good. Drawing of a crib. That could not be a creepier thing to find. Paper on which a crib has been hastily drawn by a child, it seems. Well, it could be, or it could just be someone who's not great at drawing. Alright, creepy doll.
Strange stuff. A doll. Drawing shows it lying in a cradle. Maybe I should find one.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we know what to do here, which is find a cradle and put the doll in it. We're being given quite explicit clues from somebody. But, was there a crib? Was there a crib anywhere? Maybe back in the main room, but I don't remember it. There's nothing else to sense here. Okay. No crib here. Okay. I think it's just back down. This was not. Oh. Whole extra door. Whole extra door that I missed. Aha! There we go. Hang on, can I loot this first? We are being joined by somebody. Find out why the door slammed shut.
Another masterpiece. An oven and a blackened grate. Oh joy. A riddle.
You're being given
Saw an
riddles,
oven in
that's
the
so
cellar.
cute.
Maybe I'll find another clue there.
Uh-huh. There we go. Drawing of a bread hearth. Maybe they want some bread. But there's something else here as well. Cow's milk. Oh, and raspberries. That's always worth it. I love picking up raspberries. Don't worry, Corinne, I'm getting there, I'm getting there. Okay, back down to the cellar. I guess there wasn't. Yeah, there was an oven here actually at the back, wasn't there? There we go. Do you want me to light it? I can do it. I can definitely do that.
Boo!
I felt that they were setting us up there. You didn't scare me because I think you're a godling and I already like them.
Tell you was scared. Big brave man scared of wee little Sarah.
Nah.
Ain't that funny?
I'm not
Wouldn't
scared.
do that anymore if I were you, Sarah. You might scare someone so bad they'll hurt you.
Why would someone hurt me? Having a spot of fun's not allowed anymore.
What are you playing?
That lady fell asleep, and I've sent her some horrible dreams. I'll not her awake neither. I can do that, you know. Funny, isn't it?
Very funny. Thing is, I gotta talk to the dreamer, so I'd like you to let her wake up.
Little Sarah doesn't want her to wake. Little Sarah wants to play.
Well, I don't want to. You know, we probably should entertain her a little bit.
You're lucky. I know you're a harmless godling, but others might not know, and then...
And how'd you know I'm a godling, eh? How's that, eh? Eh?
If it looks like one and acts like one, trust me, you're a godling. You give the dreamer nightmares and won't let her wake up. Why are you tormenting her?
I'm not tormenting anyone. Scary dreams are great. What I love is when this big hen chases me. Hen's got these red...
Why do you live in a haunted house?
Well, it's.
Tell
Is
you
it
a
haunted?
secret.
It's a house.
The house ain't haunted. Not one bit. I just pretend it is. Make everyone think that.
Of course.
It was sitting there all empty. So I moved in. Bigwig from the bank then came and bought it. I don't like bankers, especially not to live with. So I decided to give him a scare.
I mean, that
Gave
is
the banker a
fair
really
enough.
big scare. See, he paid a lot for this house and won't give it up easily, which is why you need to find another home.
I don't want to! I don't! I won't!
Well, let's make a deal. I'm not gonna
Sarah,
throw her out.
Novigrad's no place for a godling. But if you want to live here, that's your business. So let's make a deal.
A deal? What kind?
Leave the dreamer alone. In exchange, I'll tell the banker the house is haunted. For good, no way to lift the curse.
You tell him that? What if he doesn't believe you?
I'm a witcher. He'll believe me.
Yes? Yes? Yes! Do that and I promise not to bother your friend. Not even a little. You're awfully nice, you know.
I know.
I don't hear that often. Thanks.
Now go wake that
I think he was
sleepy head.
genuinely
I
pleased to
won't
hear that.
stop her. She'll get up.
So, you know, like, my Geralt, the Geralt that I want Geralt to be, is obviously nice guy, you know, nice, chivalrous, you know, doing justice, doing nice things for people. And at the top of my list, honestly, is doing nice things for godlings, is being nice to godlings, doing right by them. So I'm very happy to help this lovely Sarah out and, you know, be a little bit crappy to the banker.
But your yellow eyes are a bit frightening. Look, mine are pretty.
I agree, Sarah. You're very pretty, and I like you very much. Do you know my friend Johnny? Well, I guess that's that. But Sarah, what is all of... Sarah, what's the deal with this? What's going on here, Sarah? Well, maybe we'll find out another time. Okay, oh, that was fun. I didn't expect to meet another godling. I hope we meet so many of them. We're talking to the dreamer first. Right. Hello, Corinne. Don't be alarmed that a witcher is standing over you with a burning flame. Does she know us?
Who are you?
No.
Tris Marigold sent me to see you.
Gods. Horrible nightmares. I was supposed to dream the history of this house. Instead, I saw furniture. Hungry furniture that wished to devour me. I know it must sound foolish, but in the dream, well, it was all too real. And not at all amusing.
But then again, as a dreamer, surely you're kind of used to that, right?
She made people believe the house was haunted. Also injected your dreams with her little jokes.
And you managed to wake me. I feel fortunate.
We witchers have our ways.
I thank you very much. The dreams, they were awful. Any way I can pay you back?
There is, actually. I'm looking for a young woman who was seen in Novigrad.
I can certainly try to help. But I'll need to clear my head first. After those deranged dreams, I feel it's full of cobwebs.
Just like
Find me
this
the
house.
Golden Sturgeon. I rent a room there.
All right. See you there.
In how much time? You know, like what kind of a break would you like? You know, let me know what works for you. Well, I think that's that for the house. Sarah sounds happy. If Sarah's happy, I'm happy. I guess let's go and give the bad news to the banker. There's a door over here. We are sauntering out.
I saw Miss Corinne leave, but she refused to speak to me. Is the matter resolved? Or quite the opposite?
I know why the house is haunted. House is still haunted, can't seem to lift the curse.
A bit of both. A demon had captured Corinne. I managed to free her, but the house is still haunted.
Did Corinne dream of the building's past?
Yeah. Pretty horrid, apparently, though she refused to talk about it.
Oh, we're just kind of
Nobody should
besmirching
inhabit
her
the place.
professional name
So
now.
many crowns I paid. Oh, well. It shan't put me in the poorhouse.
That's that.
The truth is, we're already dependent on the black ones, economically.
Alright, that was a whiplash topic change there, dude. Nice. I'm very, very happy to have made a Godling's Day better, and I guess Corinne is waiting for us over here. But since she needs a little bit of time, I mean, we are around the corner of this quest as well, so maybe we should go and... We don't need that now, Geralt. Let's go and check this other one out.
Oh, God. The Reapers come for me.
Sorry to hear that, dude. They come for us all. Where? Here. Ah, preacher.
Here crawls a witcher. Look!
Yeah, I'm coming to help you,
That
dude.
slander to my face.
Readily. You are a mutant, a freak, a useless relic of a bygone age that should be burned like a withered branch.
God, he's got a lot of confidence. Shut up, I'll shut you up. Waste of words. How many people's lives have you saved? I mean, I don't want to get into a fight, at least immediately. I'd like some story, so it's one of these. Well, let's ask.
How many people's lives have you saved? From Brooksay? From Leshens?
That has no bearing.
Asked you a question. How many? There's something to think about, folks.
preacher's fierce in the mouth, but holler at him and his tail slicks between his legs. Come on, people.
It's very funny that they were standing around listening to him before that.
But
Oh.
fairness in your eyes.
Oh, that's the quest. Oh, okay. I thought he was going to give us a quest for some.
One drink all I
Okay,
had.
cool. So we just we just saved those people from a bit of a dickhead. That's a good kind of quest right there. In that case, oh no. Oh, hang on. Actually, I did want to check out some of this armor I picked up. Okay, yeah. All stuff to sell then. Oh, except maybe this one? Tracker's gauntlets. Looks like it needs a bit of repair. And it... Hang on, what have I got here though? This kind of has more... Yeah, this kind of has like more cool perks though. So I'm not really sure that this is worth it. Level 9, not that it really matters. Level 6. 17. Master item. I don't really know if a master item really... Like what impact it has. It obviously matters, but... And this is relic. I don't know if it's that much better given that this has like... You know, things like 10% critical hit chance. I might honestly just let this one go by. And then all of this is just for sale. Yeah. Yeah, alright. So a bunch of stuff to sell. Given that, we are around the corner from a couple of merchants, so maybe let's just sell this stuff and then head off on another little quest. And then after, yeah, we'll come back to Corinne. A stronger and more confident Geralt with more money and more experience points. And I think, you know, she'll appreciate that. We'll appreciate that.
You're a fierce one.
I am fierce. Thank you. Okay, so something here. Oh, are you pointing me? That's the banker. I don't think I can sell to him. Or... Hang on. We didn't look in here before. It doesn't really look like there's anything... I speak to people through the window, pretend to be a banker. I can't sell you anything, can I? You probably don't buy stuff, do you? I do have some
Got
currency
some
to
coin
convert
I'd
though.
like to convert into crowns.
You've come to the right place.
Done. Nice. A little bit of extra cash.
What's the rush?
In that case, where... this guy. This guy, where is he? Is it too early? Not him, it's a guard. Okay, well there's another... there's another merchant over here.
Looking to make some coin too, hey?
Over here. Books and scrolls. This is a whole bookshop I missed before when I was buying books.
Can't be. Geralt of Rivia, known as the White Wolf, the Butcher of Blaviken.
Yes,
Geralt
and I
of
love your
Rivia's
outfit.
enough. What is it?
A man came to me a few years past, paid me to keep a book for you, said you'd come for it one day.
Who was he?
He didn't introduce himself, but the book has a red cover, that I remember. I'm sure I've not sold it.
Well,
All right.
I
See if
hope you
find
can
it.
remember
And
more about it than
glance
that.
at the others while you're at it.
Be glad to look over what you got.
Alright, I don't know... What is this? Ooh... Necronomicon? Because it looks kind of like it's covered in... Like it's a bit grody, it looks like it's covered in moss. Tempting. What else have we got? Beasts of the Two Jack Foothills, so that'll probably add to our bestiary. That too. Yeah, that too. Yep. So these are kind of the same ones we saw before, right? Is this the same guy we spoke to before? It's just now he's in his actual shop? I can't remember. You know what? I like the sound of that one. There you go, I bought something. Let's have a little read. To think that man appeared on an empty world and gained mastery over it unchallenged is as foolish as thinking the world will cease to exist after man's passing. Before the first human set foot on our world, it was inhabited by beings superior to men in terms of wisdom, strength, and every other virtue. The beings I have in mind still exist in our present time, though they do not exist in a sphere available to human understanding. They occupy no dimension known to us. Where they live can best be described as a space between worlds. At times one can sense their presence through a sudden, unknown scent or a strange feeling of anxiety with no apparent cause. A wind which blows in several directions at once is another example of their subtle manifestation in our realm. There exist various imaginings of what these creatures might look like, yet these have nothing to do with reality, for man is incapable of conceiving something which he has not seen even in his wildest nightmares. The greatest horror these beings bring comes precisely from their indefiniteness and lack of concrete form. Yet it would be a mistake to think that a formless creature is necessarily harmless. I love how much this book is just trying to convince us that these things are really scary. The power they possess is sufficient to lay waste to a forest, level a city, or whip an entire sea into froth and waves. Today man is master of the world, but only for a short while. They await patiently and will soon arise and regain their one-time glory. This is as certain as dawn follows dusk, and dusk then follows again soon after, to drown everything once more in darkness. It's really interesting. It's just really trying to convince us. Oh, I have to find the book. I see. Yeah, it was really it's right there. I'm not even using my Witcher senses. It's right there. The Merry Adventures of Muriel the Lovely Harlot.
The Merry Adventures of Muriel the Lovely Harlot, adorned with humorous engravings.
Okay. On one occasion, Muriel went on a journey to see her auntie in Maribor, accompanied by her nursemaid. Their path took them through a forest, and in this forest lived a raucous troop of bandits. I wonder how this is going to go. This infamous group was led by Flynn Selms, and all the king's men had been unable to bring them to justice. Alas, such was Muriel's great misfortune that these bandits chose to attack her carriage. Muriel's nursemaid was old, blind, and deaf. She did not wake when a tree fell in front of their carriage with a loud thud, nor when the bandits fought a fierce battle against their guardsmen. When Flynn ripped open the carriage door with his muscular arms and stepped inside, Muriel had to deal with the danger herself. "Make our guest comfortable, young lady," the old nursemaid muttered in her sleep. Muriel obediently carried out her instructions. Oh my god. But was that... No? Was that not it? Did we...
Interested in books? You don't look the scholar, but... Oh, we've ones with drawings as well.
I think I just picked up one that was meant to have drawings.
Let's see these books of yours.
I don't think it's one of these, right? I mean, you know, this one has a red cover. Maybe this one also has a red cover, but it's... I think we're meant to yeah. We're meant to find it with the Witcher senses, so... So was that not it? Find a book with a red cover using your Witcher senses. Why did we... Maybe we'll look for a few different books then. Okay, it must be upstairs. So cool, all of the books on the stairway there. This is a proper old bookshop. Aha! The treatment of furuncles through cauterization, a study.
Treatment of furuncles through cauterization, a study.
Everyone's seen a boil, usually more than they'd care to. These deformities don't just mar your beauty, they can be signs of disease or even the disease's cause and epicenter. If your lungs wheeze and your heart flutters, or if you're just sick of pustules, you can carve them off and be free of this ill for good. When you go to carve off a boil, use a sharp knife which you've had a dog lick thoroughly beforehand, for a dog's tongue works wonders in healing wounds. You gotta be brave as you go about it, slicing as confidently and steadily as if carving off a hunk of cheese. Yeah, a hunk of cheese that's attached to you. Then quickly cauterize the resultant wound using a red-hot poker. Don't pay any mind to screams or tears. Plus, bile and any other humours need to be garnished in a basin, then dumped in a pit and the pit covered, else the illness might return. Alright, so I'm guessing we're going to read a few of these. We're just looting this guy's books in the meantime.
My manifesto. Must be it. There's a letter inside.
That sounds like the one. The reasons for choosing Jacques de Aldersberg as Grandmaster remain a mystery. The Order of the White Rose had gone through a crisis in those times and was on the verge of collapse, so one might guess that the Brethren wished to have someone decisive as their leaders, someone with a clear vision. De Aldersberg was precisely such a man. One of his first decisions was to change the Brotherhood's name to the Order of the Flaming Rose. The most puzzling aspect, however, is that the Order and the King himself decided to trust a man who, for all intents and purposes, had appeared out of nowhere. They say he was a wanderer, an itinerant priest who moved crowds with his speeches declaiming non-humans. They say he worked miracles and showed his flock visions of a world destroyed by the White Frost. He was undoubtedly a man of great charisma, one instilled with unshakable principles which he in turn tried to instill in others. Was he truly a source? Was he indeed gifted with raw magic talent? That we will never know for certain. Letter from A. Witcher. In the ocean of possibility, some events are more likely and some less. It is not easy to fish out the first, not even when one's intellect stretches through all time and space. I left this letter for you in the hope that despite all odds you will come across it one day, for I must warn you, mankind is threatened. The prophesied destruction of the White Frost is not just the babbling of some mad she-elf. Perhaps I will have the opportunity to convince you of this in person. If not, I must rely on this letter, which you will read many years from now, at a time when you know more than you did when we first met. Know that nothing will save the world except preparing its entire population for this catastrophe. Okay, that might be an impossible task, my friend. The old tales say a child of the elder blood can stave off the danger, but I tried and failed. Ever since I have been haunted by a hideous vision, a crowned wraith, the spectre of my failure. I was the chosen one, and the chosen one failed. You and your brotherhood are our only hope. When the time of the wolf's blizzard comes, men shall perish, and only the Ubermen will survive. Your duty is to give the world Ubermen. Whatever you think of me, do not fail as I have failed. Okay. So obviously I don't know who this A is, but I'm guessing it's someone from a previous game, and I'm guessing it's someone who thought that they were a source, the way that Ciri is, and I'm guessing that they are just egotistical and they were wrong, because I think Ciri is the only one? It does say message from an old friend, but I don't know if it's genuinely an old friend, or if it's, you know, someone who's not so much a friend. Like, I don't know if it's an old friend, ironically. Moribundia, the vampire's last likeness. Thereupon Isabella took Edward's glistening visage in her hand and embraced his icy lips, which were twisted into a cynical grin. Forgive me, my love, she whispered, stifling the sobs heaving her bosom. But my heart doth long with fiercer passion for yon werewolf, whom thou hatest with all thy vampiric thou-ness. A vampire versus werewolf romance novel. 'Tis for the best, spoke Edward, shifting his pale face towards the equally pale moon. With me thy life was ever endangered. With yon werewolf thou shalt know peace and happiness. Edward, I don't know if that's true, man. Edward turned around and took a step towards the exit, but Isabella... aren't these the actual character names in... like, I haven't seen these movies. I'm struggling to remember the name of them now. But you know, that teen vampire romance thing that was super popular. The name is escaping me right now. But isn't that Edward and Isabella? Am I wrong? I know Edward. I know that the main guy is Edward, right? I think so. Anyway. But Isabella grabbed his wrist and bade he stop. The touch of her hand was so tender, his heart newly began to beat anew after centuries of deathly stillness. "There is more," spoke she, averting his penetrating gaze. "I am with child." Hilarious. Tyromancy, or the noble art of cheese divination. That does sound like a noble art. What splendid diversity reigns in the kingdom of cheese! The ripened curd can be white or blue, hard or soft, fresh or aged, from the milk of cows, sheep or goats, brined, pickled or untouched. This list could go on till the end of time, and each of them, every last slice, every morsel and crumb, not only hangs with it an unmatched rush of sensory experience, have to agree, but in the right hands can be made to reveal the universe's most closely guarded secrets. This is my favorite thing in this game so far. This is my favorite form of magic that I've discovered in this game so far. For cheese, like the innards of sacrificed animals, the flight of a swallow, or vivid dreams, can be used for divination. The depth and size of a cheese's holes reveal when rains will fall in the coming year. While the colour of mould veins tells who shall love whom, and the scent of a hard grana padano predicts which army will vanquish its foes and which shall perish. The best divination, however, is done using the ancient method of fondue. Of course, it's fondue. One must simply melt two different kinds of cheese, preferably Emmental and Gruyere, in white wine, or in a pinch in a dry apple cider. Then one must use a long stick to immerse a morsel of bread in the resultant thick soupy mixture, all the while keeping in mind the question, what shall my child be like when he or she, as the case may be, grows? Then bring the cheese-covered morsel of bread up to a candle so that it casts a shadow on the wall. The shape will provide a sure and easily understood answer to your query. Tyromancy. Wow. I've completely changed my mind about what kind of a witcher I want Geralt to be, and I want Geralt to now be a cheese diviner. I think that this is the new skill that I want to acquire.
Ah, you're back.
I was just upstairs. Oh, okay, but there's no further...
Farewell.
We have nothing. I've done your work for you. Thank you. Thank you. That was amazing. I've learned so many important things. First and foremost about cheese divining. So on this note, I will leave this episode here because there could not be a more glorious note to end on. We've just discovered the most important thing in the universe. The most important essence of the universe, the breadth of which extends beyond all things within the universe, and it is cheese. So that is that's a momentous note to end on. So yeah, we'll jump into some more side quests and maybe learn some more about cheese divination in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I will see you then.